Friends, I spend a lot of time researching. I spend a lot of time researching. I'm trying to understand how investing works, trying to understand different techniques and different ways and different methodologies on how to make money using the tool that we have that is placed in our disposal. But every time I hear people trying to sell strategies, trying to sell techniques that they use to buy and sell shares, or even on Forex to buy and sell currency. And it frustrates me sometimes, because when you look at the strategies and the techniques that they are using, it's not really something new, but it is always the same thing. They just wait for it to dip, and after that they buy, then after that they sell when it goes high. But when you study, when you do your own research, when you try to come up with your own way of understanding how the markets works, how companies works, how the kind of technique that you want to develop, when you sit down and start to research and try to come up with a way that you can make money, you begin to realize that everything that people have been selling to you is nothing but a hopeful wish. They sell you a dream. They sell you fantasy. But when you begin to research and when you begin to study, for instance, I teach a lot about long-term investing. So in long-term investing, not only are we looking at the numbers so that we can get in and buy, but we look at the branding, we look at the CEO, we look at the executive team, we look at the vision, we look at how the current asset, the liabilities, we look at all those things so that we can make a decision that will help us to make profit in a couple of years' time. And I'm telling you, there is no better way to make money than to research about a company and to study the company and believe in your gut that this company is going to make you money. Then after that, you invest. There is no better way. There is no trick. There is you just have to follow the rules. You just have to follow the steps, because if you listen to people who are trying to sell you techniques or use this type of graph or all those things, then you will find yourself losing money, because that technique works for them. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for you. And now when you use that technique and you start failing, you get discouraged and feel like maybe this investing thing is not for you. Today, I'm here to tell you there is a way that you can invest and make profit. And it is simple. That way is simple. Follow the rules. Follow the rules. This is what I do. And I'm not saying that you should do the same thing as I do, but this is what I do. What I do is quite simple. I just for instance, let's put a name. Let's say there's a company called Coca-Cola, and I'm interested in buying shares in Coca-Cola. So what I would do is that I would study Coca-Cola. I would look at who's the CEO. I would look at the executive team. I would look at what their vision is. I would look at remember there was a time when Coca-Cola wanted to go into townships. They wanted their brand to be known so far that other brands are not able to get there. They wanted the world to know their brand, and that was their vision, and they grew. And people who invested in those times, they were able to make profit. Right? They were in Africa. You cannot go in a place whereby they don't know what Coca-Cola is or what it looks like. everyone knows. And because of that vision, people were able to make profit. So what I do is that I study the executive team. I study their vision. I study the CEO. I look at where he comes from, what he did before. I look at all those things. And after that, I look at the numbers. I look at, since he took over, what has improved and what's his vision and brand awareness. I look at all those things. Then after that, I sit down and say, okay, if I'm comfortable, I would say, okay, maybe there's the company that I would invest in. And bear in mind, I've already went through the balance sheets, the income statement, the cash flow. I've already went through that, and I have a clear vision of what the company is going to do, or where they come from since the current CEO took over, where they come from, and the kind of money that they made, the profit, and if I understand that and I'm pleased, then I'm able to say, oh, okay, perhaps I can invest in it. But I don't stop there. I look at ETFs. I go to ETFs and check which ETFs have Coca-Cola in it, right? So, for instance, in South Africa, if I'm investing in Nedbank, I would say, okay, I want to invest in Nedbank, and I would go to ETFs and check, because Nedbank is part of the top 40 companies in South Africa. So I would look at top 40 company ETFs and look if there is Nedbank in it. If I find maybe there are 2 or 3 ETFs that have Nedbank, top 40 ETFs that have Nedbank, then I would say, oh, okay, Cedric top 40 companies has Nedbank, Ellen Gray has Nedbank. And if I'm comfortable with that, I would say, oh, okay, fine. I'm going to invest in these 2 ETFs so that I can diversify my portfolio. I'm going to invest, perhaps I have 5,000 Rand. I'm going to invest 1,250 in each, and which makes a total of 2,500 when I invest in both these ETFs. Then I know I've diversified my portfolio and there is Nedbank in there. Then I would take the 2,500 that I have and I would go straight to Nedbank and invest in it. So in so doing, I have shares, I have stock in Nedbank, and should anything happen in Nedbank and the company gets destroyed and gets liquidated, I know that I have ETFs where my portfolio is diversified as well. So I'm not afraid. I know that there's somewhere that I'm making profit as well. So now but that's too far-fetched. Let's not look at it being liquidated, because that's not going to happen anytime soon. So now, say I have invested 2,500 in Nedbank, and I have 2,500 in each of these 2 ETFs, so 1.25 and 1.25 in the other. So I know that I have diversified my portfolio in those ETFs, and I know that I have stock straight from Nedbank. So in so doing, I am safe in my investment. Right? So should anything happen in future in Nedbank, I know, because I'm a long-term investor, I know that I'm not afraid. I have diversified my portfolio. So when you are investing, you look at such. You don't just throw money into stock because you want to have shares in those particular company. No. You look at other portfolios. You look at other ETFs, and you study them. If they have that particular company in that ETF that you want to invest in, or that portfolio that you want to invest in, then you know that I can invest in these and diversify my portfolio, and also take a few bucks that I have and throw straight into that stock, so that I can be able to have a balance in my portfolio. So I would have shares in Nedbank and have shares in my ETFs, which include Nedbank within them. So I know that I'm growing in my finances. In order for you to make a profit in 2023, in 2024, in whatever whichever year you are listening this from, if in order for you to make profit in that particular year, you need to be able to sit down and be able to say, hey, I want to invest in this company, but let me look at other ETFs and portfolios and baskets to see if this particular company is there. And if this particular company is there, I would invest most of my cash in there to diversify my portfolio. Then after that, some of my cash I will throw straight into the stock so that I can be able to have a balance. And as time goes on, I will keep on investing in that particular way in order to support that company and also make profit through my ETFs. So guys, if you want to make money, if you want to be able to grow in your investments, that's how you do it. You don't just take money and throw it into VW. You don't just take money and throw it in Coca-Cola. You don't just take money and throw it in Microsoft. No, you study first and look if there are other ETFs that have these companies within them. And after that, you would invest in those ETFs or portfolio or so forth. Then also take the money that is left or half of that money, but you will calculate according to your commitment. And after that, you will invest in that company so that you can be able to have a growing and also steady and stable portfolio. Guys, that is it from us. I hope that you got what I was saying, because I believe that so many people will try to sell you techniques that works for them, strategies that works for them. And when you buy those techniques and you attend those classes, you end up losing money. That's why in Rewake, we teach you how to research and study, and we try to give you ideas in how you can be able to be a great investor, right? So now, I would also encourage you to just go on and join our membership. You will find lessons there where we speak more roughly about or more thorough about these things, so that you can be able to understand why, where, and when to invest. And in so doing, you will be able to grow and become an investor that you want to become. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and please comment down below.